Namaste, Pranam, Gita Dhyanam. Om Parthaya Pratibodhitam Bhagavata Narayanena Swayam Vyasena Gratitam Purana Munina Madhye Mahabharatam Advaitam Ritavarshinim Bhagavatim Ashtadashaധ്യായിനിം Amvatvam Bhagavad Gite Bhavadveshinim. Oh, Bhagavad Gita, with which Lord Narayana himself gave enlightenment to Arjuna. The ancient sage Vyasa included it in the Mahabharata. O goddess, showerer of the nectar-like knowledge of non-dualism contained in your 18 chapters. O my affectionate mother, the destroyer of rebirth, I meditate upon thee. Krishna Vandana. Vasudevasutam devam kansachanuramardanam devaki paramanandam krishnam vande jagadgurum. Son of Vasudeva, the slayer of Kansa and Chanur, extreme delight for Mother Devaki, O Lord Krishna, the supreme teacher of the universe, my salutations to you. Srimad Bhagavad Gita, the Akshar Brahma Yoga, 8th Adhyay. 8th Adhyay and the Adhyay or the Yoga of the imperishable Brahman. And in this Adhyaya, Sri Krishna is telling us how the steadfast yogis, Nitya Yuktasya Yogina, how they attain to the perfection. They get the liberation, they get moksha, they get the nirvana by constantly dwelling their thoughts upon me. Upon me, in a sense, upon the Lord, upon the divine entity, the ultimate truth. And Sri Krishna is a representation of that ultimate truth. All the divine incarnations, they are signifying the presence of that ultimate reality. They are telling us, go to that ultimate reality. Think about me, meditate upon me, and you will get the end result, which is actually the objective of each and every being, every jiva, which has transcended, which has come down from that Paramatman. Now, in the 14th slok the 15th slok that we read previous, Sri Krishna says, one who attains me. In the 14th slok, he had told us how to attain him, which is a very easy process. 24/7, every day, think about the Lord. And such ever steadfast yogis, Sri Krishna says, they can easily attain me. And having attained me, what will happen? Having attained me, having come to me, there is no rebirth. For the rebirth is nothing but the abode of pain, the abode of misery, the abode of sorrows. And it is impermanent, it is ashashvata, it is transient, it will get off within a ziffy. And again you have to come back. So to avoid that, attain me. Now, upetya punar janma dukkhalayam ashashvatam napnuvanti mahatmanaha sansiddhim paramam gata. Such the ultimate knowers, the highest, the great souls, having attained me, they avoid this rebirth. They are out of the cycle then. They become one with the supreme reality. There is no more coming and going. There is no more rebirth. There is no more pain. There is nothing but Satchit Ananda. And for that, one has to constantly remember me. Now, having attained me and escaped the wheel of birth and death, that is the ultimate thing. Now, what happens if people, they don't get rid of this cycle of birth and death? They don't somehow, they don't get away with this punarjanma again and again, getting embodied, then leaving the body and again coming back. Now, What happens of such people? That Sri Krishna is going to tell us in this 16th shloka that we are going to read today. The difference between the wheel of birth and death and the eternal beatitude. That Sri Krishna is explaining. ā-brahma-bhuvanāl lokāḥ punar ā-avartino Arjuna upetya tu kaunteya punar janma na vidyate. Arjuna, now Sri Krishna is telling, oh Arjuna, ā-brahma-bhuvanāl, even the realm of Brahma, the Brahma loka, that is considered to be the highest loka in the hierarchy of various realms that are there for the for the transmigratory soul. These are all the waiting rooms. These are all the waiting rooms before the soul comes back and gets embodied, gets the rebirth, and again starts the journey towards that end goal of liberation, of nirvana. So, ā-brahma-bhuvanāl lokāḥ, ā-brahma-bhuvanāl, even up to the world of Brahmaloka. This punaravartinaḥ, O Arjuna. O Arjuna, there is these souls, they are subject to return till Brahmaloka. Now there are so-called 14 different realms. They are starting from Patala Loka, Rasatala Loka, Mahatala Loka, and like that. Then there is also this Bhuloka where we are dwelling right now. And then above the Bhuloka, then there is Bhuvarloka, there is Swaraloka, Swargaloka. Then there is Mahatloka, Janaloka, then Tapaloka, and then Satyaloka, that is Brahmaloka. So Sri Krishna says, whenever this transmigratory soul ends up into being in any of these realms, Brahmaloka is the ultimate. Even in Brahmaloka, Sri Krishna says, even after attaining Brahmaloka, that highest of the loka, the soul has to come back again. There is no escape. Escape is only for the soul who has got rid of any of these 14 realms. That is the only escape, that is the only liberation, that is the only mukti, that is the only nirvana. But even from Brahmaloka, that soul has to come back again. ā-brahma-bhuvanāl lokāḥ punaravartino Arjuna. Arjuna, that soul has to come back. upetya tu kaunteya, but, tu is but, upetya, having attained me. O kaunteya. Now here, you see in this shloka, Sri Krishna referring to Arjuna as first as Arjuna, a direct, reference. And second is kaunteya. Kaunteya is son of Kunti. Son of Kunti, he has taken birth from that mother, from the physical body. This physical body of Arjuna in this form has come from the womb of Kunti. And that is the rebirth. So Sri Krishna is hinting this particular phenomena of rebirth. But he says, upetya tu kaunteya, but O Kaunteya, you have come in this form, but if you attain me, punar janma na vidyate. See? O Kaunteya, O son of Kunti, once a yogi attains me, there is no punarjanma. Even from Brahmaloka, people have to come back. The souls have to come back. There is no escape. Forget about Patala and other lok. They have to come back. But if somebody is thinking that having attained the Brahmaloka, having attained the Satyaloka, he doesn't have to come back. Sri Krishna says, don't have that false notions. Even from Brahmaloka, the soul has to come back. There is no escape from that. All worlds, including that of Brahma, are subject to return. All worlds, all these 14 worlds which are mentioned there in our scriptures. There is a return from each and every, even the Brahmaloka. Now you see, in the hierarchy of these realms, Brahmaloka is the ultimate. Maybe the time frames are different. From some loka, maybe the soul has to come back in maybe 100 years or 200 years or 500 years, whatever is the stipulated time frame. Brahmaloka is the one with the highest time frame, it seems. But Sri Krishna says, don't have that notion that from Brahmaloka there is no escape. Again, we have to come down. Again, we have to get into this Navadvara Puri, which is the abode of misery, which is Dukkhalaya, and which is also ashashvata. So, there is no escape. All worlds, including that of Brahma, are subject to return, O Arjuna, but on reaching me, O son of Kunti, there is no rebirth. So, that is the teaching of Sri Krishna in this 16th shloka that we have read. Different planes of existence are known as the various realms, various worlds, various lokas, the highest among them being the Brahmaloka. It is also called a Satyaloka. That is the highest. But all these worlds, all these lokas, all these realms, they are subject to mutation and repetition. From one loka I may go to another. Or that loka itself may mutate to another loka. The Bhuvar loka may mutate to Brahma loka if the doings in the past are so good. Enjoy for more time. Or that Bhuvar loka may become most heinous, most detrimental, most torturous, Rasatala loka or Patala loka. So mutation is not only in this COVID strains, even in the loka, in the realms, even in the divine realms, there are mutations. And the transmigration happens from one loka to another till again the person is, the being, the soul is reborn in another body, gets embodied, again dies, goes to another loka, till then. Still, and with such cycle, that loka is just a waiting room, as we saw earlier. It is just a waiting room to spend some time till coming back into this dukkhalaya, into this citadel of 9 openings. But all these worlds are subject to mutation and repetition because of their being under the sway of time, space, and causation. Anything that is under the grasp of time, space, and causation, that is ashashvata. So, it has to come back. So, if we have to have liberation, we have to get out of this realm of time, space, and causation. And for that, we have to attain the Parama Atman. We have to attain that Parama Atman. While the beings in all these worlds are compelled by their karma to be reborn, only those who go to Brahmaloka have 2 alternatives. That's why Brahmaloka is considered to be the topmost in the hierarchy of loka. There, the liberation seekers among them work for it in the highest region and get karma mukti, or progressive liberation, when the entire universe dissolves in pralaya. It is only through the Brahmaloka there is some chance of escaping from that net of Mahamaya, of the net of that fisherman. That can happen only in Brahmaloka. But even Sri Krishna says, even from there may be chance, depending upon the karma that is being done. With the good karma, there is chance of escape. With not so good karma, again come back, and that Sri Krishna will tell later. But the enjoyment seekers among them are forced by their karma to take rebirths. Among those who are dwelling in the Brahmaloka, in the realm of Brahman, in the realm of Satya, the highest loka for that matter, among those, even there, those who are seekers of enjoyment, they have to again come down. Only the seekers of liberation have got some chance of ultimate liberation, but that too again at the end of pralaya. At the cycle of the dissolution of this creation. The Lord said, Krishna had said, this the creation, it gets birth. Even this creation that we live in, it is not only the birth and sustenance and death, it is not only for our bodies, it is for the entire creation. And Lord, through its play, brings this creation into effect. The creation is sustained, and at the end of the cycle, then the Lord once again takes the creation back within its fold. The Divine Mother takes the creation back in her fold, back in her womb, and that is the pralaya. At that stage, there is a chance for these souls in the Brahmaloka to have some escape. Again, during next cycle of creation, they have to again the souls in the netherworld, in the nether lokas, they have to again come back and start afresh. So, but the enjoyment seekers among them are forced by their karma to take new births. Cycle continues. Sri Krishna says there is no way out. But Sri Ramakrishna says something on this. He gives a beautiful example. Sri Ramakrishna says, when the boiled paddy is sown in the field, it sprouts not. Even so, when a perfected person puts away the body, he is not born again. So here, Sri Ramakrishna is telling us a way. Who takes rebirth and who gets liberation? When we boil the paddy grain or we roast the paddy grains, there is no resurgence. They don't sprout again. Even if you sow and you put some fertilizers and manures and give so many things, there won't be even offshoot of a single leaf from those seeds. But if it is the unboiled, it is unroasted, then of course you just put the seed and only simple water, no need of any fertilizers and a manure even, immediately will sprout a new plant. That is the rebirth. But Sri Ramakrishna says, you just harden that seed. You get rid of that opportunity for the seed to, re-sprout. You just burn it. You just boil it in the devotion of the Lord. You just remove its capacity to get reborn. And the soul doesn't have to come back at all. So, what is this process of boiling or process of roasting? Sri Krishna has told us, think about me, satatam, and nityeshaha, every day, constantly think about me. That will just burn out the capacity for that paddy seed to regerminate, to resprout. So that was Sri Krishna's teaching in this 16th shloka, that what happens to people who don't get liberation. Even if they reach Brahmaloka, they have to again come back and get embroiled in that dukkhalaya and get destroyed again, get rebirth again, get destroyed again. So Sri Krishna has categorically told us, even if you reach Brahmaloka, you have to come back. No escape from that. So that was Sri Krishna teaching us the reality in the 16th shloka. That is what happens when the souls, they reach even the Brahmaloka. That is our reading for the day. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Sri Krishna Arpanamastu. Jai Sri Ramakrishna. Jai Thakur. Jai Ma. Jai Swamiji.